Yes, not exactly like. George, good to see you. Please come in and have a seat. Tell me, George, how are you? Forgive the microphone. I like to record at least my initial meeting with my clients. More for my benefit than anything that you might do wrong. Though I would be lying to you, George, if I told you that I haven't had clients in the past who were guilty of the very thing they hired me to investigate. Oh, relax, George. Please, get comfortable. Whiskey, perhaps. Well, I hope you don't mind if I do. I wouldn't classify myself as a whiskey man as such, but I find it helps me think. This is an Aberlour, 22. Quite beautiful. Are you sure I can't interest you? I respect that. It is bad luck to toast. Beautiful. Now, George, tell me why you think I would want to take on a case that police couldn't solve in 6 months. Do I look like an idiot to you, George? Is that what you see when you look at me? Idiot? George, please relax. I am playing with you. Think nothing of it. Well, let me tell you a little bit about me. My moniker, the man from Minsk. I've been unable to shake this for a long time. It is sort of stuck with me. I'm not actually from Minsk. I spent some time there in my mid-20s, but did some work. Gained a little notoriety, but I'm not from Minsk. I was actually born in Moscow. My father is Hungarian. My mother, Slovakian, actually. By birth, I'm Belarusian. But not so long. I left the country with my family when I was but very small. We moved to Moscow and I didn't return to Minsk for 20-something years. But now, in my mid-50s, still the man from Minsk. But I don't mind it. Now, you tell me on the phone, George, you tell me that an heirloom, $327 million heirloom. How does somebody lose something like this? At a party with friends, no less. I find that very strange, George. Very strange. My first question for you, George. Technically, not my first, but who's counting? I think not you. Did the insurance pay for your ring? Sorry, your mother's ring. I mean, no disrespect, of course. Well, I'm glad to see that they paid out. Rare for insurance companies to do what they are intended to do. Again, technically speaking, they are intended to make money. They are business after all. But I'm happy for you. So you come to me to find this ring purely for what? Sentimental? Your mother, she's still in this world. My apologies. It is hard to lose a parent at any time in our lives. We never really prepare for it, you know. Sure, we should be more prepared as we enter adulthood. But we never really are. I am sorry for your loss. Tell me something, George. Do you know what a humidor is? A humidor is a box with regulated humidity used for storing cigars, mostly at least. I am not a keen smoker, but I find cigar once a week. It's my resting time. Now, apologies for my attire. Truly, George, I've been traveling and in meetings all day. You're lucky to have caught me. This humidor contains 3 1885 Churchill wines, Romeo and Juliet. Quite a beautiful smoke. Not that I would ever condone smoking, of course, but we all have our vices, George. You would come into my house. You fly out to Dubai, you come into my house and you tell me that I cannot smoke my cigar. Where I come from, this is considered very rude. Enormously rude, but if your mother had a brush with such thing, I will forgive it. Not problem. I hope you don't mind that I toy with my cigar. Okay. Let's get down to how you say brass tacks. Brass tacks. Let's get down to brass tacks. George, you've flown all the way out here. You know my fee. Let me start by asking you, who do you think took your mother's ring? This evening, where the ring was stolen, if that is what we are calling it. I will ask you to remain calm, George. I invite you into my home. You do not shout at me. Are we clear with this? You forget yourself, George. I knew your father. It was partly because of him that I agreed to even see you. I do not do what I do for money anymore, George. Look at my house. I do it because I enjoy the chase. But before we proceed any further, George, I would be remiss to remind you. My technique, my approach, process, whatever you want to call it. I am aggressive, George, not physically, never physical aggression. It is unnecessary and boorish. I'm not a caveman with a big stick. But many of your key witnesses or suspects will, considering it was a party of friends, will be people you know and are very close to. And they know that you have, for want of a better word, given them up to me, George. And I will attack them. And I take no pleasure from this portion of my job, George. But what you need to know is that when a human being is angered and goaded, shepherded into a specific place, they get angry or upset maybe. And it is in these moments that we reveal our truths. And it's these truths, these moments of vulnerability, the honesty of it all, that is what will take us to the ring, to this end. Again, I must warn you that you are perhaps risking friendships, potentially with entirely innocent and fair-minded people. I offer no assurances. I come with nothing except my record, which I would like to think speaks for itself at this point. Now, you didn't answer my question earlier. I asked you, who do you think took the ring? They were at this party and invited. And why do you suspect them, George? Are they not close to you? Okay, not a problem for me. Now, I will do my best to access the police files of 6 months ago. Not a problem. But again, you must understand that the police go down a specific avenue for things they are uncertain about. This ring, with its enormous value, carries risk and responsibility, and it sounds like your police officers, detectives, were afraid to take responsibility. We should always take responsibility for our actions, George. We need to be accountable. Otherwise, why are we here? I would need from you a list of everyone at the party. I assume you can provide this to me. Good. The ring, where was it stored? a display case in your study. Four or five, maybe 6 years ago, I was working a case in Sweden. I've worked all over the world, George. My accent is a hodgepodge of different cultures and nations. At its core, I think Slavic, Eastern European, but I care not for my accent or how I sound. I care for results and chase. It's the chase that carries me forward, George. Not money, not fame. I just like the chase. Now, I was in Sweden a few years ago, and it's funny because no matter where you go, no matter what country you visit, people in that country, that city, will have opinions on other people in other countries, almost always negative. And you go to this country they're complaining about, and they'll be complaining about another country for the almost very same thing. But I digress. I was in Sweden, and I was chasing a painting. Very valuable, you see, very expensive. Only 2 copies in the known world at the time. It was estimated at $26 million. And I wasn't the only one. There was a plethora of private eyes chasing this art for the reward mostly. But it was the chase for me. Of course, I found the painting. And you know, it was hiding under the bottom seat of the curator's car. The curator of the museum stole the painting, and it was under the seat of his car. The most obvious, high-risk suspect in the least imaginative place to hide painting. And it took us 8 months, and even then I was lucky. What I am trying to tell you, George, is that people are simple. Even the smartest, most creative minds. Now, I am not an articulate man. I couldn't tell you of combustion in the motor car or how it works. But what I can tell you is that I can read people. And although we are almost all the same, physically, emotionally, mental, there are traits, very fine traits that separate us, that give us individuality. And it is these traits that I excel at finding. My wife leaves these out for me. Chocolate and coffee. One of the finest human beings meld I could ever imagine. Whoever decided to take 2 objects and put them together, when they did it with coffee and chocolate, they were having a very good day. But my wife, she leaves these out for me. You'll notice I have 4, maybe 5 chocolate, and a seemingly innumerable number of almonds. She loves me very much, though. Another classic trait of humanity. She loves me, but she causes me pain. What is this? I want a full bowl of chocolate. Do I not work hard? Do I not pay the bills? But here I come home. She shortchanges me. But why? Because she loves me, George. People do things sometimes that don't make sense. Perhaps they love. Perhaps they are in debt. Perhaps they're jealous. But always the reason. It's never so different. Because there's only a finite amount of things that we can do. And I want you again to remember and realize that once you set me off my leash, I go after these suspects. And maybe you never talk to them again. But I will find your ring. That I guarantee. Now, who had access to the study the night of the party? Everyone. Well, that sounds great, George. Really, very great. Was the ring in a cabinet of some kind? Or a box, perhaps? What was the thickness of the glass on the display case, George? Please. You don't know? Security and safety of your items has never been trust. Priority for you, George. I don't mean offense. I don't mean to insult you, but this ring is worth how many millions of dollars? Shielded by a piece of flimsy glass, it seems foolish, George. But I understand. We are but human. Being human is something that I can understand. So, talk me through the timeline of your party. What time did it start? Early start for a party. 6. And what about the guests? Who made the cut to an infamous party from George? Chloe, yes, I read. I had a quick search from what I could find before you came over. Chloe. Okay. And Chloe's relation to you? Platonic, you say. And how many years have you been platonic, George? Yeah, it's not my business. Not my business. You tell me it's platonic, George, until you give me a reason. Otherwise, I will believe everything you tell me. More or less. Okay. And what does Chloe do for a living? I see. Curious. I will come back to Chloe. She sounds interesting, if nothing else. And who else had access to the study? Or rather, who else do we know visited the study that night? A Jimmy Wickets. And what, pray tell, does Jimmy Wickets do for a living? Of course he is. Investment banker. What do you know about this Jimmy? Why did you invite him? And now, he's the head of this firm. That is some drive. 17 years old in mailroom. To making CEO. I look forward to meeting him. He sounds like a pragmatic man. Who else do we know is Vanessa Soudet. Soudet, this is a French name, I believe. What was a French supermodel doing at a party in America? How you know Vanessa Soudet? You, well, I hope that pays out for you, George. I am teasing you, please. Apparently, the ring isn't the only thing the thief stole. Took your sense of humor. Chloe. Jimmy Wickets and Vanessa Soudet. Is there anyone else that I'm unaware of? Oh, really? And how old is this man? I see. And how did you come to know him? The three prior names, Jimmy, Vanessa, and this Chloe, all seem to have similar character traits. For you, at least, desirable character traits. What is... he's younger? A savant. I have to admit, I've never met a savant. I think being able to remember everything you've ever heard, read, or been told in your life would be interesting. At least for a little while, but I think over time, maybe, just maybe, it becomes a burden. He sounds like an extraordinarily bright young man. Perhaps this is what each of the guests share. They're using their brains. When I mean using their brains, I mean... success isn't always driven by intellect, but... from my experience at least, intellect can do a lot for a job prospect. Did either of these four interact with one another that you are aware of? I see. How would you know this? Jimmy sounds like an interesting man to meet. But I applaud his restraint if she was a little too drunk to make an informed decision. Again, I trust for the third time I have your full cooperation and support, nay, your approval, questioning the suspects as I choose fit. Of course, inside the law. What kind of monster do you think I am? What kind of monster do you think I am? curious. I will tell you why I'm curious, Mr. George. We have 4 prime suspects here, 2 of which were seen together in the study. Vanessa and this Jimmy Wickets. And still the police could find nothing. I don't know what to tell you, but I find that very strange. Tell me this, George. When did you stop drinking? I knew you were a recovering alcoholic when I saw you walk into the door. At least I thought you were. And it was confirmed when you said no to one of the finest bottles of whiskey you will find in Europe, at least. Nobody would say no to a whiskey that is impressed upon them in such a manner, unless there's a reason why they weren't drinking in the first place. You're not on trial here, George. I'm just trying to understand you as a person, and therefore the people that you might associate with. Do you understand me? When I was a little boy, I was walking down the street one night, past dark. But I knew where I was going. I was a kid, but smart kid. And a man jumped out on me. And he said to me, "Give me everything in your wallet." You know, I'm a child. I don't have a lot of money, but I had enough that my parents gave me to buy a few groceries and a sweet treat that I was going for it to begin with. I said to the man, the would-be assailant, I said, "Why are you doing this? I'm a kid. Go and get a job. Work for 1 hour. You would get more from the job for an hour than you would get from me. Only the job will not come with jail time." And the man looked at me like I was an alien. Like, how dare this young boy put things so simply into perspective for him. I don't want to get your hopes up, George. But even with the police report running to a dead end, I am confident we have something here for you. I can feel it. I think your ring is still out there. And I don't care how many people we have to talk to. How rude, obtrusive I need to be. We will find your ring, George. But have you thought about what you will do if and when you find it? You would need to return the insurance money that I'm sure you've already halfway spent. A plan issue for another day. That is not my concern post-case. You know, this desk, I had it covered, is over 4,000 years old at its base. And it sits here in one of my offices, and it reminds me that no matter how old or how long something continues, it can still be strong. George, I don't want to take any more of your time. I have a lot to think about. I will schedule a flight to the US 2 days from now. I assume I will not have problem with any of these four. They have been cooperative with the police. I want to meet Chloe first. There's something behind Chloe's statements that, at least from what you've told me, that doesn't sit right to me. But I have been wrong once before in my life, and I have no qualms with being wrong again. However, in this case, I think we'll be calling it a night. Thank you for coming all the way out to see me, George. I will do my best to recover your mother's heirloom. But I think it's important for you to manage expectation. It has been lost for a very long time. Most likely fenced anywhere in the world. But I could still find it. And if I had to wager, I would guess it's still in the country. I appreciate America is a very, very big place, but it's not so big. Take it easy, George. Don't worry about payment. Hold on to your payment till I give you something to feel positive about, something I can report against. Again, I'd like to thank you, George. It was good to meet you. As I said, I liked your father very much. He's a very good man. And congratulations for inheriting their estates. Apologies, I was not able to reply to you sooner. But here we are. Chapter 1. Let's see where Chapter 2 goes.